All right, day 2 painting. So all the primer is done, all the cutting in is done. I didn't prime the trims yet because I have to do all the work, all the patchwork on the trims, which I've got the first coat on. I just used Sheetrock 90 because there was some pretty heavy fills. And if I use painter patch, it's just gonna shrink right in. So I went around and I scraped them all out. And I scraped these top edges clean because they were all like yucky looking. So now it's gonna look a lot cleaner once I caulk it and then prime it, and it's gonna line up a lot better in the miters and stuff. And then there was a lot of paint that was chipping off, so I had to scrape every trim down all the way across. And then tomorrow I'll sand all this stuff out with the rough blocks, and I'll also sand the rest of the trim so that way the primer sticks really good and it looks smoother. So there's a lot of stuff that I had to clean up. You can see all the little spots, little nail holes and stuff like that, and then spots where the paint chipped off really bad where I had to fill it. So, but they're gonna look good now. By the time I sand them and then skim them with the painter patch over top of these patches and then sand it out. That's a thing too. I'm gonna send this video to the homeowner tonight. It's Friday night. I'm pretty sure the homeowner will probably be here over the weekend, or his guy might be. If you are, could you possibly just spray some spray foam into those and then they'll dry, and then on Monday I can just cut them out so they're indented a bit, and then I can just tape right over them with mesh tape and fill them with 90 right away. Make it all one piece. There's a few of them. There's one there. We'll go through the house anyways and I'll show you where the other ones are. So that one's in the living room. So as you can see, I just filled in all the low spots where the paint was chipped away and stuff, just to make it all the same flush level, and then filled in all the nail holes, obviously. And any really rough areas. And anywhere where there was like a crack or something like that, I put mesh tape on it and then filled it over with 90. So, but like I said, like I scraped everything out. Now these parts are really clean, and then by the time I put a bead of caulking on the top, that's gonna clean that top up, and it's gonna square all this up really nice. So it looks a lot newer than what it did, because it probably had about 20 different coats of paint on it, right? So it was all chunky and blobby. Like right now it looks ugly on the top, but once I put caulking and then spit on my finger and run it across there, it's gonna look like it's all one piece connected to the wall. So there's another one, a plug hole. If you could possibly spray foam that and then just leave it to dry, and I'll cut it out on Monday and I'll mesh tape and fast set right over top of it and hopefully be able to finish it up right in one day. I'm hoping to be able to finish the trims to be ready to primed on Monday now at this point. I didn't realize there was going to be so much scraping, so there was a lot of work on the trims. So that stuff there is fine, it'll paint out, you won't notice it. But down there was really rough. Now here is a plug that's covered, so I'm pretty sure that doesn't need to be there. So if you could possibly take this off too, and then same thing, just shoot some spray foam in there. It'll bulge out, I'll just cut it off on Monday. So there's 3 in the living room alone, okay? Phone lines, I'm pretty sure they're still active. I'm not sure if they're not active, if you want to get rid of those too, right? Other than that, and then in here too, I don't have a screwdriver to take this guy off. I don't even know how this guy comes off, actually. I don't see a screw there. I don't know. But there's a whole bunch of garbage in there. It needs to be taken out and stuff, right? Before, so that way I can do like a final cleanup before I do all the painting, all the finished paint. So yeah, that's all cleaned up. These guys here, I'm not mudding those. I'm just gonna caulk them in and then wet my finger and smooth it out so it's nice. There's a lot of nail holes all over the place and stuff, little spots. And then the big paint chips, they all had to be filled up just a bit to make it the same level. And then there's one here, there's a plug here. I don't know if it's a dud. It looks like a dud. If you could possibly just take that out, same thing. Fill it with spray foam and I'll cut it out on Monday morning and then patch it over. So that's in the dining room. So there's 1, 2, 3 in the living room, 1 in the dining room. So that was a joint there. I mesh taped it and then just filled it. I'll have to fill it again. And then just cleaning up roughness. Cleaning up roughness. Nail holes. So anyways, this kitchen's, it's all primed out, cut in. Everything's all primed out and cut in for the walls and ceilings. So it's just a matter of finishing up this prep work on the trims, and then I can go around and prime all the trims out, and then we can start finish painting. So I'm hoping for start finish painting Tuesday now at this point. So I wasn't gonna do all this. I wasn't gonna scrape this out square, but when I kept looking at it, it just looked really ugly. So I scraped it out square, and like I said, the top I left, because if I would have scraped that out, I would have scratched my wall. But I'm gonna put a good bead of caulking over the top, spit on my finger and rub it, and it's gonna look nice and round and just connected to the wall. And then it'll be square after that, and then round. It'll just be a lot cleaner and nicer looking. So that there, you know, I'm just gonna caulk it and try to make it kind of connect. And then obviously caulk the miter so it's a lot cleaner and nicer. This whole trim was really rough, so I just kind of skimmed the whole thing. So here it was all chunky paint and stuff, so I scraped it off cleaner. So now when I paint it, it's gonna be a lot cleaner and square. And then there's a dud, I'm pretty sure that's a dud plug there. If you could get rid of that, and then just spray foam behind it, I'll cut it out and I'll patch it up. And I'll try to clean this up a little bit so it kind of ties up a little bit better. Like build this side up just a little bit so it kind of lines up with this, so it looks like it's all one piece. So I'm doing this video right now mainly to show the homeowners what was done, because it's just primer, and today I had to re-roll all the plaster walls, which I did, and then cut everything in, and which I did. So you can't really see what was done because it's all white. It looks the same as yesterday now because it's all dry basically now, right? So there was a joint right there, and then the miter, like the joint, you know, you can see how I'm trying to make it all like one piece. So that might need one more quick coat of 90 tomorrow morning, or the Monday morning when I get here, and then leave it to dry for a couple hours, and then go over it with the painter patch. Leave that to dry for a few hours, and brush it out. But you can see that's a lot straighter now, right? Like you're not seeing such a hump there anymore. So yeah, it's gonna look a lot nicer in here like this by doing it this way. So there we go. So that's what I got done today. I got all of the plaster walls rolled first thing in the morning. I rolled the bathroom a second time because the green drywall was showing through the primer. So I rolled all the walls in here again. And then obviously cut everything in. So it's all ready. You know, the guy can do the tiling anytime. I would get the trims on first though, so that way I can finish them up because they're gonna have the most work, right? So yeah, but yeah, like it's looking good for Monday. Try to finish up all the patchwork on the trim, and then Tuesday morning sand it out and then prime it out, prime the trims up, and then start finish painting the ceilings. Hopefully I get one coat on all the ceilings, and the next morning get the next coat on all the ceilings, and then start putting colors on the walls. All right, so that's where we're at, guys. Like I said, all the plaster walls have 2 coats on them now. They look beautiful. There's no more dry spots or nothing like that. Like yesterday, there was a big dry spot across there. So yeah, it'll be a nice, easy painting now. And cleaning up these trims is gonna make it easier to caulk, to caulk and to prime too. So, and it's gonna look a lot nicer. So there we go. That's what I got done today. It is now 5:34 and I got here at 9:30. So I'm out. Have a great day. This is We Care Drywall Repair and Professional Plastering Services. Another great day at work. Day 2 painting. So tomorrow it's going to be mainly the trims that we're working on all day, or Sorry, today's Friday, so Monday morning it'll be the trims right away. Start working on those. Keep working on those, and then get them all caulked up after they're sanded. Finish sanded, caulk around the edges, caulk on these insides, caulk all the corners, you know. Just caulk and make it look like they were all one piece and always there. And caulk around these edges so it looks like it was all one piece and directly connected to the wall all the time. Oh, and I cleaned this up too because this thing was all chipping away and looking really bad. There's a moisture issue here, I think, because that's moisture coming through. But yeah, so I just kind of straightened it out. It's got sheetrock on it right now. So when that dries tomorrow, I'll sand it out and then I'll skim it over with the painter patch and then let that dry, sand it out, and then throw a couple good thick coats of primer on top of that one there. Actually, I'll probably throw a good thick coat of Kills first because I still have Kills left, and then I'll throw a good thick coat of primer on top. So you guys go. Your trims are starting to look a lot nicer. They're getting cleaned up. And all the primer is done on the walls and ceilings now. All right, have a great day. Hope you enjoyed this video.